Odd Arts uses theatre and arts to deliver issue-based workshops and programmes, and on our project with Sharing Stories we used forum theatre, which is a technique that's created by a theatre practitioner and politician called Augusto from Brazil. He changed 13 laws through this technique. It's aimed at working with people who might be oppressed by different things, allowing them to show this oppression through a theatre performance and then enabling an audience to get involved at the end and try and come up with solutions to the oppressions or problems that are shown in that performance. On this project in particular, we worked with Sharing Stories and visited Butterbeaker Hospital in Kampala and worked with people who were either still within that hospital as patients or service users and people that had already left there. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of how the process works to create this forum theatre and the process that the participants went through. Initially we play games, getting to know each other, building trust, which is a really important part of it, because before we can explore the heavy issues, people need to feel comfortable with their own bodies. Another important part of delivering forum theatre is actually letting people engage with their bodies and be physical in a way they might not usually. So doing some games that might make you move differently or mirror people, get into different shapes and images. And this is about people just realising they can use their body for things out of the everyday mundane stuff. The next stage was actually to get people engaged with theatre and performance, so start using their bodies not only physically differently but actually creatively to express opinions and emotions. The theme that we looked at was around mental health, in particular the stigma of mental health and the effect that had on the participants and the effect that had on wider society, where that stemmed from and how that looked. So we used the theatre exercises, the games, the discussions, the images, the mime to express people's experiences of this. At the end of doing all that, we then start to work towards an actual performance. So let's create this into something concrete that people can understand, a storyline, characters. The participants themselves, it's a one-step removed approach. They will create characters that are based on their own lives and experiences, but they aren't their exact story. This means people can put as much as themselves on it or as little of themselves, and also that numerous people's stories can be shared within one character. The story ends with lots of unresolved issues around the oppression and stigma of mental health. So we had people in this performance who were really ostracised, isolated, disadvantaged, oppressed because they had experienced mental health challenges. And we didn't want to solve that for the audience. Augusto says that everybody that watches the performance and everybody that acts in the performance is a spectator. It's not spectator and actors. He doesn't want you to go to the theatre and feel purged and better about yourself. He wants you to do something about it. So everybody's a spectator, everyone's involved, we've all got some commitment and involvement with the project. We've delivered this project in Manchester in England with Sharing Stories, and obviously of course in Uganda. What was really interesting, although there were some real differences around some of the practical ways that people experience stigma of mental health, there were some real similarities that were very interesting. In both countries, the feeling of isolation, shame, not being listened to were really common throughout both those countries. So it was interesting for people to work together and be really surprised by some elements, but at the same time completely relate to that inner feeling of rejection from society. We had around 40 people involved in the project, and most of people were actually involved in the performance. It was a really powerful performance. It had a lot of people's own traumas, tragedies, human experience put into that, but it was really powerful and meaningful for them to engage with those experiences in a positive way and use those to try and look for real life solutions to the problem of mental health stigma.
You said thought it was at work? Right. Well, no,
you're confused because Dad said he's out of work. He said he's ill. We took it to the National Theatre. And we then asked the audience to stop it the next time we played the performance at any point they thought could be done differently or better. At which point audience members could step in and try out different solutions. This is what Augusto Boal says is a rehearsal for reality. And a quote I love of his is that theatre is a weapon and it is the people that should wield it. And in this case, that is what our participants did. They tried to use theatre as a weapon to combat the stigma of mental health in Uganda. It was a fantastic performance where people got involved, including one of the health ministers, exploring better communication around mental health, better support, and different ways that people could respond to some of the issues in their community. Following on from the performance, there was a smaller group of people who showed the potential to go on and take forum theatre further. They were invited to a training session sharing the techniques that we use to deliver forum theatre, to deliver inclusive theatre projects. Also thinking about our strengths and restorative-based approach that we use with people. They were trained in these methods so that they can go on and use these methods in their own communities, in their own workplaces, and when issues might arise, they might think, actually, I could use theatre where there's challenge or where there's discrimination or where there's stigma. I could use theatre to explore that and try and come up with solutions.
The week has been lovely for me because I've gained a lot of experience as far as forum theatre is concerned.
This has been a wonderful week for me, and I can believe it has improved even my mental health.
I will do it differently by teaching my people how to do it through games, sports, dance and drama.
I've learned new skills, I've learned new games, I've gotten new ideas. I loved the creative leadership training, it was amazing. I just feel so empowered to go out there and be a better person, really.
People have stories, people can create stories through different plays and games.
There is hope. Like you can be kind to one another. You can keep learning, because as you keep learning, you get new things that will make you continue, because it is a journey, a long journey.
Instead of, they feel it, and maybe we hope there will be change.